you get it? Is it on? Okay, muchacho. Got him every time.
Every time. Welcome to another episode of Taking Over the World with Ed and Aaron. What is your problem?
You sound like... Okay, listen. We have talked about consistency. We've talked about progress over... Things don't happen...
Time over task.
Yes, things don't happen overnight. You just said you got two great compliments. You have been on a journey, and you have been doing... I've told people, and I have told you, the amount of discipline that you are able to show is remarkable. I wish I had your level of discipline. I get ready to head to the gym in the morning, and if I'm like, it's windy. Fucking done. Nope. Stay in bed, right? You just go. You go. And I've said it before. I think some of the pictures you've posted, you can definitely tell that you've lost weight and you've gained muscle mass. And so my argument to you was when you were talking about a couple of comments that were made to you, and you were like, it's not going fast enough. You sound like one of those agents that are looking for the magic pill. It doesn't happen overnight. You don't go from getting your license to 10 listings. You don't get your license and go to $5 million, $6, $7 million in sales. I mean, listen, there's the exception to the rule. Right. Okay, we know there is that. But like, dude, yours has been a journey. It's a transition. Like, don't give me this crap of it's not happening fast enough.
Well, I think with everybody, right? And I try to remember, I forgot who did it, but somebody took a bowl of rice, like a 5-pound bag of rice, and they threw it in there. And then they took a measuring cup. It was like a quarter cup, right? And they're like, no, I'm sorry. They took a teaspoon, and they're like, okay, this is one day in the gym, and they take it out. And then they're like, this is a month. So they took 30 scoops out. Hasn't changed much. It doesn't look like much. He's like, but 30 days, over 30 days, over 30 days, over 30 days, then you see the difference. You see the pile going down and down. It doesn't happen overnight. I get that. And this all started because I asked you a simple question. Are you one of these in the parking lot gym contemplators of your life decisions?
No. First of all, let's go back to this teaspoon thing. I'm more of like a 3-day, then take a couple teaspoons off. Maybe 3 days, take a couple teaspoons off, add some back into the bowl, then take one back out the bowl. I'm like treading water here, people. I am treading water. Now, I will tell you, like when I went when I went 14 days in a row, I definitely felt better. There's no doubt about it. When you stick to the plan, I get up, I feel better. And it starts with my pre-night care going into the day. But when I get to the gym, no, I am not the guy.
Your pre-night care, does that take you do your facial and all that stuff just to make sure you're ready for the gym the next day? Or?
Yeah, dude. I do like that guy that is on those videos now where he puts ice in a bowl and sticks his face in the bowl. You've seen that guy. You know what I'm talking about.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. He does it, and the guy is a rip, so I don't know. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe he's just
ice on your face gets you ripped? Don't tell me that.
I'm willing to try it.
I'll be dunking my head and shit.
I go through my... No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I just need to go to bed earlier in my bed, and I think I'll get a better night's sleep.
So that bears the question, right? Same thing in real estate. So I'm gonna ask it two ways. I'm gonna ask for one personally, okay, and then one in the business, right? So you know that for 14 days you were consistent.
Yeah.
And you felt better.
I don't like where this is going.
Hold on, you felt better.
Yep.
You know you felt better.
Yep.
But you stopped.
Yep.
Okay. So that it's the same thing that agents, right? They make a phone call. Yep. They get an appointment. They go on the appointment. And they either get the deal or not. That's irrelevant. The point is they had an appointment to go on. And then they stop.
Yep.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Listen,
I'm just curious. Why
how much
both?
time do we have to unpack this? And I feel like I should lay down. Do we have a couch? I think...
It's a therapy session.
I think so.
Here you are for therapy with Ed.
So tell me about your mother. So I think what it boils down to is this. Is that... people like that and think like that have to have a mindset shift before they can move on. Right. So my mind in those 14 days was purely focused on the result. And the result was going 14 days,
so you didn't have to pay.
So that way I accomplished the result.
Right.
It wasn't the bigger issue of during those 14 days, I should have fallen more back into in love with the process. going to the gym, focusing on how I felt each day. I wasn't focused on that.
Right.
I was focused on 1 day down, 13 to go. 2 days down, 12 to go. That was a result-oriented mindset, not like, God, man, I feel better. I have more energy. I feel like I'm a better person, in real estate, in home life. Like that
Right.
was the lost
Like
part.
I feel more energy and all that stuff.
Right. And I think it translates to real estate is that when I first started, like I got my first deal in escrow and I didn't have a problem making the calls. I made them. I got my appointment. I got my listing agreement. And then I just sat there and just watched it because I think a lot of people are under that assumption is like real estate is get a deal, right? Yeah, it is. And so when they get the deal, then they hurry up to wait. Right. Because they're watching that deal and they watch every aspect of it. Like they're sitting there watching the grass grow for that one deal instead of getting back. And don't you remember how going to the gym every day felt? Don't you remember how it felt, when you got that appointment, when somebody finally said yes? No, we just get focused on that result. The task was get an escrow. Got it. Now I'm checked out. The task was go 14 days. Got it. That's all your focus. So I think that becomes that mindset where people have to shift. If there's something that you really believe in and want to do, it just goes back to you have to understand and believe and trust and love the process and you can't be so result focused. The results will come, but if you don't love the process, you're screwed.
Or I think if you're not committed to the process.
That's fair too.
Because you don't have to necessarily love the process.
That's fair.
Right? Because I wouldn't say I love waking up at 2:30 in the morning every day to go to the gym.
Sure.
I don't love it.
Well, most people don't. You're strange. Most people don't go to the gym at 2:30 in the morning.
I beg to differ. There was 2 people in the gym this morning.
Well, they're also weird. I get up at 2:30, go to the bathroom, and go back to bed. Okay? Like normal people.
Right, yeah. No, we get up and we actually do things. But I will tell you, like, I don't leave my house till 3:15, 3:20.
Okay, that's interesting because I wondered about that too.
Right? Because I need time. Right? Because I get up, I go downstairs, I prepare coffee for the day. Like, I have a routine. Maybe I'll do a video of get ready with me on the routine to go to the gym.
Oh, yes.
I have to.
Please, do it when you're putting on your makeup with your headband on and everybody else does. I would like to see that.
That would be funny.
I would like to see that. Put on a leotard for the gym, bro.
But I need the little.
Oh, yeah.
The little hair thing with the little squirrels and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Anyways, so I get up, I get everything ready for coffee, get my pre-workout, and then I'm either's the wrong word. I'm watching ESPN and TikTok at the same time.
Okay.
I'm
we
actually
like to call that multitasking.
Yeah, I'm actually listening to ESPN first, and then TikTok I'm listening to because that's where I get my news from. The trusted news outlet.
The credible sources out there. Perfect.
And I get my new gym routines, and then I get everything ready, and it's funny because I literally sit around, and then all of a sudden at 3:20 I'm like, oh, I gotta go, I gotta get to the gym.
See, and that's where your self-discipline kicks in. If I did that routine, not making it to the gym.
Not a minute.
Nope, not making it to the gym. It's now 7:15. And I've passed out on the couch 4 times. I've neck checked myself. I've smacked myself in the face with the phone as it's fallen on me like 4 times. Okay? I don't have that kind of discipline. When I get up in the morning to go to the gym, I'm like, from time I get up to put the clothes on, get my pre-workout in, I'm talking like 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops. I got to be out the door. Because where I get stuck is my ADHD brain kicks in and I get distracted.
Okay.
So then, if I go on, I try not even to go on Instagram or social media. I'll try to do my post or if I do some comment on some stories, that's fine. But if I get into a scroll for reels, game over. Done. It's too easy to now be well, I'm dressed, nobody's awake, it's pretty quiet, this blanket's nice and warm, I'm on the couch, this is comfy, the gym, I'm going to have to get up, dry, no. too many options. I got to get up, get dressed, and I mix my pre-workout and I take a drink right away. Because then I feel like, because I'm so frugal, I'm like, I can't waste this pre-workout. I've already started it, right? So I'm like, and then I'm like, so I got to go. So like, that's kind of like my commitment is getting up, getting dressed, just go straight for a drink of pre-workout. Because then I'm like, well, I already started.
So yeah, so I don't. So it's funny how like everything's routine based.
Yeah.
Right. So like my buddy Peter, who's also an investor, I call him to talk to him about something, and he's like, "Hey," I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Sitting in front of the gym." I'm like, "Okay," and he does this all the time.
Okay.
He's sitting there for 20 minutes, and
In
I'm like,
front of the gym.
in front of the gym, contemplating life's decisions. And I'm like, why don't you just go in? He goes, I know, I'm going to go in, but it's hard to go every day. And I get it, right? Because I do it every day. It's hard to get up and go every day.
It's 100% hard.
So I get it. But it's just funny because, like, so while I've been on this journey, and it's not only going to the gym, right? It's taking supplements, it's doing stuff, right? Trying to get overall healthier and better. And I talk to other people, and they're going on their second or their third common cold this winter.
Right.
Or they're going on this, and I'm knock on wood, I haven't had any. I haven't had sniffles. I haven't had anything.
See ya. See you next week, bro.
No, it ain't gonna happen.
Okay.
All right. See, you have that limiting mindset. I don't.
You tempted the sickness gods.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I got the vitamin gods that are gonna fight them.
Oh, okay. It's a battle royale.
That's it. It's the vitamin. But it's the working out, the feeling better, the same thing like when I'm at the gym, right? I just have music. All I do is listen to music.
Right.
I don't know how some of these guys, and they're pretty jacked guys that go to the gym that I go to, that are like power lifters and stuff like that, and they'll do one set and then they sit down and get on the phone and scroll, and they just scroll through the phone.
Sometimes I'm to do that. So
I cannot do that.
So I guess I'm a power lifter by ipso facto. Yeah. I'm a power lifter. Ipso facto, I am a power lifter.
Yes, you are. But the thing is that if I do that, it'll be like normally I'll go through my workout 3:45. I get to the gym 3:30, 3:45, and I'm done by 4:45, an hour. If I sit down in between sets and start scrolling, it'd be 7:30 by the time I get out of the gym.
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
Easy. Because I'm watching a reel, then someone come on, and then I got to go look at part 2 and part 3.
Well, and I think that's where I differ. One, see, for me, the hardest part is getting to the gym. It's going from my couch, warm blanket, nice and comfy, cozy, to the truck. And now, like I start my truck a little early. It's a little warmer in there. Get it, ready to go. Bougie, living that bougie life.
Yeah.
Right? Now I'm good to go. That's the hardest part for me. Like that early in the morning, I'm not weighing life decisions yet. I don't even have my brain is not functioning at the level to have intelligent conversations like that, right?
Not even with yourself.
No, that is a slippery slope right there. Now, at night, that's where my brain sometimes is hard to shut down and go to bed early because I am constantly thinking about stuff. And that's where I weigh a lot of my decisions. Okay, now like the day has gone, like, did I waste my day? This day will never come back. You never get it back. Did I spend enough time with the family? Did I work hard enough? Like at night, that's where my brain struggles. And
you think about all that stuff?
Oh, I fucking think about so much stuff.
Do you really?
Oh, yes.
I don't think about that.
That's why, like at night, I have to have like the TV on and something I've seen before. Like I go through like Brooklyn Nine-Nine's a good one, like The Office, things that I've seen that are funny. They don't take a lot. I can kind of scroll on my phone. Like I kind of do what you do in the morning.
Right.
I have it on in the background. I'm kind of listening, kind of watching, scrolling on my phone, just trying to get my mind to just like do other stuff.
Right.
And then at one point I'll lay down, but I'll have the TV on and I'll pass out to the TV. Because if I go lay in bed or somewhere with enough TV on or stuff and I'm just like there, dude, I'll lay. I don't care how tired I am. Well, that's not true. But like I can easily lay there for an hour and not fall asleep. Like I can go just because my mind just starts racing. I can't, it's hard to shut it down. So in the morning, like that sucker's still in bed, my brain is. So it's like, as long as I get to the gym, I'm good to go.
Oh no. I get home and if I lay down on the couch to watch TV, see you tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I don't have. I got enough time to get home, change clothes, and go to one practice, then the next practice, and then the next practice. Right? So like, I don't have time, but I do, man. I will. I did it. I did it. I don't know if it was this weekend. It was. I think it was like on a random Thursday last week. I was taking the boys to practice, and Andy had left with Brooklyn to go up to soccer or something. I didn't even tell her this part, and like, we had like about an hour and a half, right? And so it's kind of
That's
like
for you
dead,
is an eternity.
dude, eternity. I didn't even know what to do, right? So I kind of sat on the couch and I kind of looked around for a minute. I just kind of put my head back. And next thing I know, I woke up and it was like, we had to leave in like 20 minutes, like 25 minutes. I'm like, guys, we're lucky I woke up. They're like, oh, we were watching you. And Braxton had like made something to eat or something like that. I was like, wow, man, I was out. They're like, yeah, you should have heard. You were snoring like crazy. I was like, guys, like, why didn't you wake me up? And he's like, oh, we figured you needed it. I was like, okay, respect. But I was like, so I do have that every once in a while where I just like, dude, middle of the day.
Those are the best.
Oh,
naps.
dude,
Those
so
are the
good.
best. Those are the best.
But I can't sit in the car in front of the gym. Like, that does nothing for me.
But I see that a lot on just people that go to the gym. Like, it happens at our gym sometimes. I'm leaving at 4:45, almost 5 o'clock in the morning. And there's a guy that comes in about that time. I don't know what time he actually goes into the gym, but around 4:45, he's sitting in his car listening to music.
That's us power lifters.
Oh, is that what you powerlifters do? Yeah, okay.
But I think it goes into like, work in general, right? Like whatever your hard part is, like getting out of the car, going to bed. Like once you make the commitment, I think you're better off. But it's just that it's that mindset during that process, because it's like people like coming into prospect. What's the hardest part? We've seen right now a lot of people, it's getting into the office, right? Like when it's easy not to do real estate when you're not around it. If I sat at home and tried to work from home, I don't think I would have the self-discipline, like we've talked about before, to sit there and work as productively as we can here. Now, that doesn't mean I can't be unproductive here too, because I can, okay? But
we can all be unproductive.
We can all be unproductive, but it's like, it's that we always that's that saying, like, what's the hardest phone call to make? The first one. It's like the getting off, like going. And that's like getting off the couch, getting into your truck, getting out of your truck, walking into the gym. That for everybody, they have that one decision that's their hard part. And for these agents right now, I think a lot of it is getting into the office, because they've seen somewhere that I can do it all on social media. I can do it all from home. I can do it all by going to one networking group. And it's like, it just doesn't work that way. You've got to be diverse in the stuff that you do to lead gen.
You have to. And there's different ways to do it. But consistency is the only way to perfect it and to see change.
I agree.
Because even like all the fitness people that I follow and stuff like that, one of them was saying, it's people go to the gym, they don't see results, they change their workout.
Yeah.
Why are you changing your workout? Stay with the same workout. Stay with it for a year. If you don't see anything happen in a year, then okay, let's change it. But you got to give yourself time for it to develop and to do stuff.
Yeah.
I know I went and did legs today. Woo.
Oh, that's going to feel good.
Oh.
Get the hack squat machine?
Oh, of course. I hit the hack squat. You know what, though? I was listening to so I follow, obviously, I'm not going to do this, but this is a guy that I follow, Jay Cutler.
Oh, okay.
A beast. And he says...
And that is the weightlifting Jay Cutler, not former quarterback Jay Cutler for all those keeping score at home?
Correct. The weightlifter. The bodybuilder. Interesting fact. He never bench presses.
What does he do?
He does all kinds of he does dumbbells and stuff like that for his chest.
Okay.
Cable flies and stuff like that, but he doesn't do...
Like get on the actual bench with the barbell?
Never.
Neither do I.
He never does bench.
So me and Jay Cutler, again, I'm like a bodybuilder.
You're a bodybuilder.
So basically I'm a bodybuilder is what you're saying. Yeah. I don't do it either. But I bet you we have very different reasons for it. Probably. I wonder what his reason is.
He doesn't like it because he doesn't like the strain on the shoulders.
Okay.
From a straight lift.
I'm afraid I'm going to tire out mid-set. It's going to drop on my chest, and everybody's going to laugh at me and or die. And I'm the guy that has the barbell on their chest trying to like wiggle off the weights. So very different reasons on why we don't do it. Because I want to go to my 8 to 10 reps, but I'm like, dude, like there's sometimes where I've been pushing like on a hammer strength machine. I hit 6, and I'm like even like half reps on the last one just to kind of like max it out and like full just dead chest. And I'm like, dude, if I do that on a bench press, It's falling on my throat. It's falling on my chest.
You're gonna die.
People are gonna have to get the weights off me. Then I gotta change gyms. I probably gotta move. You know what? I may even have to relocate states. Like
You have to go through witness
I
protection.
have to go into witness protection because I'll forever be known as the guy who got the barbell stuck on his chest / throat.
So it's funny because he doesn't do that. His optimal is 8 to 12
Yeah.
minimum. He's like, I see some value every once in a while in doing like a 5-setter,
Sure.
just the heaviest weight possible.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, but my range, and he's like, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a researcher. It's not anything that I've researched, and it's the optimal way to do it. For me, that's what works. That's, and another thing he doesn't do first, like when you do legs, what's the order of your leg workout? What's the first thing you do?
First thing I do is cry. Second thing I do is say a prayer.
Okay.
Then I go into. I actually like to start with leg press.
Okay.
So I start with leg press first because I feel like I'm sitting down. I have more control. It's not as embarrassing if it falls on me. Like I can kind of hide there.
Right.
And it's a good way to warm up my legs. Then I'll typically go into a squat rack and do like some squats and then kind of superset maybe with some lunges in between. Then I go to the hack squat machine. Or like if I'm not feeling super courageous, sometimes I'll do the hack squat instead of the regular squats. And then lastly I'll always do leg extension and leg curls. That's kind of that's my finisher. And then I'll go upstairs to the treadmill and walk for, like 10 minutes just to kind of loosen the legs back up. And then fall down the stairs while I'm trying to get back to the car because I can't feel my legs.
There you go. So I start with hack squats.
Oh, just firing right out of the gate.
Just right out of the
Just out of the gate. We're swinging for home runs.
That's
Got it.
it.
Nailed it. We're trying not to walk after exercise 1. Got it.
No, yeah. Like I just try to destroy him right off the bat.
I love it.
I warm up with them and then I just kill.
I love it.
But Jay Cutler doesn't start off with squats.
Yeah.
He starts off with leg extensions
Okay.
and leg curls.
Okay.
And his reasoning behind that is because he wears his legs out with the leg extensions and leg curls so that when he starts squatting, he thinks about how much weight he's actually going to put on it. Because like Ron Coleman hurt his back squatting and stuff like that. So he's like, yeah, I never wanted to be a guy that had back problems. And I figured if I squat first, I'm going to go there. And even though I can squat 500, I'd probably try to squat 7 to start.
Yo, did you see that squatting thing with Saquon and Hurts?
Those guys are beasts. It's ridiculous.
Did you see the little interview piece where they were interviewing Saquon? He's like, Hurts squatted 600 in college.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. He's like, you think you can beat him? Or he says something like, Jalen thinks he can beat you. He goes, no. He goes, because you think you can do more? He goes, absolutely. They cut to Saquon with 585 on the squat rack, and he busts out like a set of 10. And he's just like, get out of here, bro. It was gnarly.
Saquon is a beast.
Good for him. Okay, let's finish with this question. I had a question. This is interesting. So Braxton, as he's getting a little older, okay, he pays attention a little bit more to things in conversations, right?
Okay.
And so lately, like we've been, just together more, working out and baseball and stuff. And so he's been hearing me in the car talking to real estate clients. And so I had a big one in town this weekend that we were talking about. And so he started asking questions and stuff. And that was on Friday. And then on Saturday, we were driving somewhere. He goes, Dad, because, if baseball doesn't work out for me, he goes, man, I think real estate would be a really cool profession to get into. I was like, hey, man, to each their own. It's fun. I love it. This is the most fun I've ever had, working and, making money. And, we kind of talked about the ups and downs. I said the great thing about it is there's no ceiling. You work hard, you get some direct results. If you don't, you
get direct results.
You're going to call me and Mom asking if you can move in with us. It's like to each their own. He goes, so he's like, it's cool. Like, like blah, blah, blah. And he goes, and this was this question. I was like, this is a pretty good question. He goes, why do you think, and listen, this is not about I think I've done pretty well to this point, being in the short industry, not even close to what my potential or where I want to be, but I'm happy with what I've done so far. And, some of the clients, obviously he hears me working with a $2 million buyer. He's like, what do you think has helped you, be good at real estate in a quick amount of time? And so I talking to him and I answered. And so overall, the question is like, if you were talking to your children, or if they asked you about it, like if you're being interviewed, what do you think is one of the attributes that you think you have that separates you from other agents? Or something that you think you need to be successful, like as just talking to like a general conversation, your kids or something like that, not preaching to other agents, but like, what do you think about you personally makes you as good as you are?
At real estate, well,
Yeah.
I think just in general is I don't like the feeling
Uh-huh.
of not knowing things.
Okay.
So I tend to research a lot of stuff.
Okay. So
Knowledge.
research and knowledge makes
Right.
you.
Like that's what I think. Like when we go to sell a gas station or when we go to sell something, I start researching. Or when an investor says, "Hey, I'm looking at other markets. I'm researching other markets." Like I spend a lot of with everything. Like
Yeah.
working out. Okay, what supplements should I be taking?
Yeah.
Like everything in life.
I would totally agree that with you.
That's what I love to do. I love the crazy thing is I love the process and the results of what I do. The actual researching of it and reading and going through that drives me insane.
Really?
I don't like it because I'm not a big reader.
Yeah, sign me up for that too.
I'm not. So I have, and I honestly believe that I have like that I'm partial dyslexic for certain things, and I substitute letters and I substitute words in when I'm reading. So I tend to have to read the same thing.
That's because you go like through that Spanglish where some of it's in English, some of it you translate to Spanish in your head.
It could be because of that.
Yeah.
It could be because of that.
Yeah.
But I have to read something 3-4 times and be like, okay, I truly get it now.
Right.
And I understand exactly what I'm supposed to get from this.
Right.
But yeah, that is what I think that makes me a better agent is I don't just regurgitate what somebody says. Like I don't just go to a class and somebody teaches something and I go out and I do that. I go and I learn it and I fully understand it. And it was great because like when I first got started in 2003 in Florida, Florida's an attorney state. So back when they were settlement statements that you had to read and you had to go through the HUD-1 and look for things that were missing and stuff, you had to actually know what you were talking about because you're in front of attorneys. So if you call them out, you better be right because if not, it's not good. It's not going to go good for you.
Yeah.
So I read, I researched, I looked at what are the common mistakes, what are things people miss, and that's what I do a lot of.
That's awesome.
So that would be my thing. What was yours?
Mine is I do regurgitate. I just listen to everything you say and then I just spit it to everybody. I figure if you've already done the research, why the hell do I? Like, right? That's killing two birds with one stone. You've already done the work. I'm just gonna plagiarize. So I told him this. I said, Brex, let me tell you this, bud. I said, you know how you always ask me why I talk to that person? He goes, yeah. I said, then you want me to know why I talk to like the security guard at the baseball field, why I talk to the checkout clerk when I check them out, why it takes me longer to get off the field and out to the parking lot because I stop and talk to 5 or 6 families on my way out. He goes, yeah. He goes, that's what makes me better than a lot of people that I work with is that I care about relationships. I enjoy talking to people. So a lot of the clients that I have been referred to me because they know me, they trust me. We have that personal connection. And not putting research or anything, if you don't know what you're talking about, that's a whole nother world. But I said, my strength is I'm not afraid to talk to anybody. I'm not afraid to have a conversation with, again, a checkout person, a gas station person, a $1 million business owner. Like I don't really get caught up in who they are. I just think of everybody as a person and they all got a story to tell. And, maybe it comes from my last industry and being, having so many different people in and out of my business. My job was to talk to people. And so I said, for me, that's what separates it. I love communicating to people and, being patient with them and understanding their story and relating to them. And it builds trust and they refer me out.
That's very true.
So, but it's interesting.
You do relate to people a lot.
Yeah, I feel like that's like understanding and how to talk to certain people. And I think that relates like from coaching. And I think that's why, like I love coaching. And I even got another compliment this weekend for the first time that I've coached this gal. They're like, so this is what it's like, like
The
being
Denzel,
coached property.
the magic.
And then, well, I had one in the Super Bowl. Yeah, I had one yesterday. I was like, oh no, we might be in a spot here, people. We're at our Super Bowl party, and I'm just hanging out and kind of watching everybody. I decided I wasn't like I had to drive and stuff, so
Right.
I didn't want to get caught up in all this shenanigans. So I spent most of the Super Bowl people watching and watching the football. And let me tell you, I don't know if there's a better event to people watch at than going to a Super Bowl party.
Oh, no.
And it was like a pretty packed house, like all of our friends, and I just people watched. Boy,
You had fun.
boy, was there some events that took place, some wild events. I'm just like, where did we lose control? And this lady comes up to me, and my buddy introduced. She goes, oh, I don't know if you've met. She goes, this is Aaron Dalzell. Like, you might know him from some. She's like, oh, you're that Aaron. I'm like, oh dear baby Jesus, what did we just? I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what I did, but I'll apologize now for. She goes, no. She goes, no, it's good actually. I think we've traded some emails. I'm like, oh, uh-oh. But it's funny. It's just like my point being is like that's my style. That's
Right.
what works for me. Like I'm at the fields. I know all these people. That's how people know me. She didn't know me as Aaron. She knew me as Aaron from Summerlin South. She knew me from baseball, softball, youth sports, and like everybody's got to have their niche. Everybody's got to have their shtick, and that's mine, and I'm sticking to it. And
And
it's just how everybody's good. How everybody's different.
and that yeah, and that's how you work. Like
Right.
because I see that on a daily basis. You're all about building relationships,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not about the deal today.
Right.
You're about building a relationship.
Most of the time. Sometimes I get caught up in the deal.
Well,
for the
that's a different story. But for the most part, you're about
Yeah.
the relationship and building
Right.
a relationship with somebody
Right.
and getting to know what they need and what's best for them
Right.
versus a deal. Now, real quick to the Super Bowl. Love the results. It was awesome. Like Amanda said, we were drinking our favorite Haterade flavor last night.
Ooh. Fruit punch.
We are on chief overload in our house.
I think a lot of people were on Chief Overload.
So we're just done with the whole persona of the Chiefs and how and some of the things that were which may or may not in the long run be the way it goes, but just the conversation about the GOAT with Mahomes and all that stuff. It's a lot going on, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think you're the GOAT yet. You haven't gotten to that point.
So let me ask you this. I mean, that was a whooping.
Oh,
I mean, the score, even though they put up a couple at the end, like they did, like it was not indicative. They got their tail.
got throttled.
They got their tail dragged up and down that field.
through 3 quarters, they had not crossed the 50-yard line.
I saw that at one point. They were on like one play on the. Like, it was.
Through the first half, they had more sacks than first downs.
Well, at one point I saw like in the third quarter, didn't they have like 38 total yards or something
Yeah.
like that? So let me ask you this.
Okay.
And this can be translated to all professions, real estate, whatever job you're in. Do you think at the end of the day, and we'll probably never know, but from perception, do you think it was just that the Chiefs were just arrogantly came out and be like, dude, we're the 2-time defending champs. We got this. You haven't been on this stage as much as we have. Like this is our world. We're the Chiefs. Like, look at us. Or do you think it's one of those situations where the Chiefs just came out, laid an egg? Or do you think like the Eagles were just that good that they just waxed them?
So I think it's a combination.
Okay.
So yes, and I think we talked about it last week. I think that the Eagles are loaded.
Yeah.
They are a loaded team. On offense, if you stop Saquon, you got AJ. If you stop AJ, you got Devontae Adams. If you stop him, you got Dallas, the tight end. There's plenty of weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Jalen Hurts, which can run.
Yeah.
So there's weapons everywhere. But I think what happened, and I was talking about this with a friend of mine. Well, no, I'm sorry. I was talking about this with Brandon, my son. It came to a point where I think that the Chiefs had a game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Stop Saquon. Little throws in and out to Mahomes. Like step up in the pocket and throw the ball. That's it. Right? And those things were not working, but they were so arrogant that they didn't change. They said, this is the way we're going to do it. Right? And it's almost like, let's say, in real estate, right? Now I'll relate it back to that. I'm like, okay, I like phone calls. I think phone calls are the easiest way to get deals done. You're like, hey, social media is a big part of it. I think we need to start doing. If I would have been doing just one part of it and not trying something else or trying to evolve into something else, then I think that's where you start slowing down your progress and your growth. And I think that's what happened. I think they had a game plan. We are the mighty Chiefs. This is our plan. We're not moving from it. And no matter how long, I mean, geez, they were up by 30-something points, and he throws a 46-yard touchdown to Devontae Smith. Like, really? Like, you're not going to try to stop that?
So, basically, just like the stubbornness killed him.
100%.
Self-sabotage, stubbornness.
Stubbornness, ego.
Ooh, ego is not your amigo, bro.
No, and I think that was
your amigo.
And I think that was it. It was just like, hey, we're the Chiefs. This is our game plan.
Bow down.
We're going to stick to it. We're not going to budge. We're going to do it this way because this is how we win. We just got to keep it close. The only thing they weren't expecting was the Eagles to come out and punch you in the mouth.
Yeah, that's like
and they kept punching you in the mouth.
What was that, Mike Tyson? Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face.
That's it.
I think that was the theme of last night. They had a plan, and the Eagles punched him in the face.
And I just think it's awesome that Cooper DeJean, I think DeJean is his name, the rookie, on his birthday, pick 6. Best birthday present ever. Hey. I know you disagree. There could be other birthday presents that are a little better.
Hey, listen,
which we're not going to talk about at this point.
It's fair. Hey, listen, as far as that went, that was my prop bets. The family's prop bets did not work out so well yesterday. But Andy did hit that one. She had defensive touchdown. So I was all in on it. I was all in. I was good for it.
I think he did a really good job. I think they came out and said, okay. But you know what? That begs to the argument, right? Because he was the defensive coordinator. Vic Fangio was the defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins last year. Our defense sucked. Like, our defense was horrendous. Now, I heard through reading and all this stuff, right, what things that come out, that the Dolphin players didn't like him. And I was like, okay, well, maybe he doesn't coach to their style, whatever. But it just proves when he goes to another place and the people are all in, what their defense can do. Like, if we would have bought into that defense, could we have gone farther?
I think that's the theme of the talk today is that, I mean, if you want the result, you got to buy into the process. The Dolphins wanted the result, but they failed to buy into the process. The Eagles are like, yeah, we want the result. What do we got to do? Let's go. They followed. They believed in the process. They stuck to the process, and now they're world champions.
So today's word for the day is process.
Process.
The process. We got to follow the process.
I like it.
Well, good luck.
I gotta go show some analysis.